My wife's job is to take selfies in front of things I designed. That's how I explained it to people when they asked what Emma did for a living. She's an influencer, I'd say, with the kind of smile that could cut glass. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. The irony wasn't lost on me. I spent 60 hours a week creating actual structures that would outlast us both, while Emma spent her days posing in front of them, accumulating likes from strangers who'd never build anything more complex than an IKEA bookshelf. But tonight, staring at the hotel receipt I'd found tucked between her yoga mats, the joke wasn't funny anymore. The Ritz-Carlton Presidential Suite. 2 nights. Signed E&D in Emma's looping handwriting. E&D, Emma and Derek. Derek Slate, her fitness trainer. The kind of guy who wore tank tops to parent-teacher conferences and called everyone bro, unironically. The kind of guy who owned 3 gyms in Boston and drove a Maserati with vanity plates that read, "Fit for you." The kind of guy my wife was apparently sleeping with in presidential suites while I worked late designing the new children's hospital downtown. I set the receipt on my drafting table next to the blueprints I'd been reviewing. The contrast was perfect. My life's work on one side, my wife's betrayal on the other. My phone buzzed. A text from Emma. "Working late with Derek tonight. Don't wait up, XOXO. Working late. Right." I typed back, "Which position are you working on tonight?" 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again, then, "What's that supposed to mean?" "Nothing. Just wondering about your workout routine." "You're being weird, Ethan." "Am I? Or am I just paying attention for the first time in months?" My phone rang immediately. Emma's voice was sharp when I answered. "What is your problem tonight?" "My problem?" I laughed, the sound bitter in the empty office. "My problem is that my wife thinks I'm an idiot." "I never said that." "You didn't have to. It's in every eye roll when I talk about work. Every time you post a gym selfie with your hands all over Derek. Every time you come home at midnight smelling like someone else's cologne." Silence stretched between us like a taut wire. "I don't know what you think you know," Emma said finally. "But you're wrong." "Am I? Then explain the hotel receipt." The line went silent. 20 minutes later, my phone exploded with notifications. 23 missed calls, all from Emma. I let them all go to voicemail. The first message was panicked. "Ethan, please call me back. We need to talk." By the 15th, "This is ridiculous. You're being paranoid." By the 23rd, "Fine. You want to play games? I don't need your permission for anything." I smiled as I typed my reply. "Then stop needing my house." The next morning, Emma was waiting in our kitchen when I came downstairs. She looked like she hadn't slept. Her usually perfect Instagram-ready appearance replaced by smudged mascara and yesterday's clothes. "We need to talk," she said. "Do we?" I poured coffee into my travel mug, not offering her any. "I thought you didn't need my permission for anything." "Don't be like this." "Like what? Aware? Alert? Actually paying attention to what my wife does with her time?" Emma's face flushed. "It's not what you think." "What I think is that you've been screwing your trainer in luxury hotel suites while I work 80-hour weeks to pay for your lifestyle." I took a sip of coffee, savoring both the bitter taste and the way Emma flinched. "What I think is that you've been posting increasingly suggestive photos with him on Instagram, letting him put his hands all over you while thousands of followers watch and comment about what a lucky guy he is. Those are just promotional photos for the gym." "Right, and I'm sure the promotional budget covers presidential suites at the Ritz." Emma's mouth opened and closed like a fish gasping for air. Finally, she found her voice. "You're overreacting. It was nothing." "Nothing?" I set my coffee mug down harder than necessary. "Emma, I found the receipt. I've seen the photos. I've watched you lie to my face for months." "It's not lying. It's..." "What? Creative interpretation? Selective truth-telling? Influencer marketing?" Tears started flowing down her cheeks, but they looked calculated. Performed. Like everything else about Emma these days. "I made a mistake," she whispered. "But we can work through this." "Can we? Because I already called my lawyer." The tears stopped instantly. "You what?" "Divorce papers should be ready by noon. Did you want to book the U-Haul, or should I?" Emma's face transformed from devastated wife to cornered animal in seconds. "You bastard! You can't just throw away 8 years of marriage." "I'm not throwing it away. You already did that when you decided Derek's abs were more important than our wedding vows." She stormed out, slamming the door hard enough to rattle the windows. Through the front window, I watched her get into her BMW, the one I'd bought her for her birthday last year, and screech out of the driveway. My phone was already ringing. Jessica, Emma's best friend and chief enabler. Ethan, what the hell is wrong with you? Good morning to you too, Jessica. Emma is hysterical. She says you're divorcing her over some misunderstanding. Is that what she called it? A misunderstanding? She made one mistake. One. And you're ready to throw away everything. I almost laughed. Jessica had been covering for Emma's mistakes since college. She was the one who provided alibis, who helped craft Emma's social media persona, who whispered in her ear that she deserved better than a boring architect husband. Jessica, let me ask you something. When Emma was in that hotel suite with Derek, where did she tell you she was? Silence. That's what I thought. You knew, you all knew. Ethan, please, tell Emma she has until Friday to get her things. After that, the locks get changed. I hung up and blocked Jessica's number. That evening, I was working late at the office when my phone buzzed with a security alert from our home system. Someone was in the driveway. I opened the app and watched Derek's ridiculous Maserati pull up to my house. He got out, looked directly at the security camera, and waved. Actually waved, like we were old friends. Then he walked up to my front door and rang the bell. I called Emma. She answered on the first ring. Your boyfriend is at my house. He's not my boyfriend. Then what is he? He's standing on my front porch right now, Emma. What am I supposed to do with that information? Just ignore him. He'll leave. But Derek didn't leave. He stood there for 10 minutes, occasionally looking up at the camera and smiling. Finally, he pulled out his phone and typed something. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Nice house, bro. Must be nice having a wife who knows how to appreciate a real man. I screenshotted the message and forwarded it to my lawyer. Then I started planning. Emma always said I was too methodical, too careful, too boring. She was right about the methodical part. When you design buildings for a living, you learn to think in systems, in sequences, in cause and effect. So when I decided to destroy my cheating wife and her muscle-bound boyfriend, I approached it like any other architectural project, with careful planning, precise execution, and attention to detail. Phase 1 was public humiliation. Our brownstone had a smart home system I'd installed myself, cameras, automated lighting, climate control, and a projector system for movie nights. Emma loved showing off the tech features to her Instagram followers. She was about to love it a lot less. I spent Tuesday night writing code, something I hadn't done since college but remembered well enough. By Wednesday morning, I had everything I needed. Emma was hosting a live Instagram session that evening, showing off our house to her followers while promoting some skincare brand. She'd done it dozens of times before, always without asking me first. This is my beautiful home, she cooed into her phone camera, walking through our living room. My husband designed it himself. He's so talented. 12,000 people were watching live. Perfect. I activated the system from my office across town. Every screen in the house, the smart TV, the tablet in the kitchen, even the digital thermostat, lit up simultaneously with a slideshow I'd prepared. Screenshots of Emma's text conversations with Derek, photos they'd taken together in that hotel room, clearly not discussing fitness routines. Bank statements showing Emma had been using our joint account to pay for their dates. The comments on Emma's live stream exploded. OMG, is that real? Your husband is savage. Derek Slate is such a sleaze. Emma's getting exposed. Emma's face went white as she realized what was happening. She tried to end the live stream, but I'd locked her out of the home network. The slideshow kept playing on every screen while thousands of people watched her melt down in real time. Turn it off, she screamed at the cameras as if they could hear her. Turn it off. But the best part was still coming. The final slide was a simple message in 72-point font. Emma Hayes is a cheating liar. Her trainer Derek Slate is a homewrecker. They deserve each other. The live stream finally ended when Emma threw her phone across the room, but it was too late. Screen recordings were already spreading across social media. That Emma Exposed was trending within an hour. By Thursday morning, 3 of Emma's sponsors had dropped her. By Friday, Derek's gym was getting 1-star reviews on every platform. I was just getting started. Saturday afternoon, I drove to Derek's gym. He was there, of course, holding court with a group of college girls who hung on his every word about protein supplements and muscle definition. I walked up to him carrying a 5-gallon bucket of chocolate protein shake mix I'd prepared in the parking lot. Derek. He turned, saw me, and his face went pale. Oh, hey, Ethan. I wanted to thank you. Thank me? The college girls were watching now, phones out, sensing drama. For showing me who my wife really is. I mean, I always suspected she had terrible taste, but sleeping with a guy who wears tank tops to funerals? That really confirmed it. Derek's face flushed red. Look, man, I don't want any trouble. Trouble? No trouble at all. I just brought you a little gift. I lifted the bucket and dumped 5 gallons of chocolate protein shake directly over his head. The thick, gooey mixture coated his hair, his face, his ridiculous tank top. It dripped onto his pristine white sneakers and pooled on the gym floor around his feet. The college girls started screaming and laughing, their phones recording everything. Derek sputtered and wiped chocolate goop from his eyes. What the hell, man? That's for all the squats you did in my bed. He lunged at me, but protein shake is surprisingly slippery. His feet went out from under him, and he crashed to the floor, sliding 3 feet across the gym in a trail of chocolate sludge. I pulled out my phone and took a picture. Smile, Derek. This is going on Instagram. I posted the photo with the caption, Derek Slate, personal trainer and home wrecker, getting the protein bath he deserves. 1 star. Would not recommend. By the time I got home, the video had been shared 800 times. Emma was waiting for me, sitting on our front steps with 2 suitcases and a face full of rage. You humiliated me, she said. No, Emma, you humiliated yourself. I just made sure everyone could see it. I've lost everything, my sponsors, my followers, my reputation. Good. She stood up, shaking with fury. You destroyed my career. Your career? I laughed. Taking selfies isn't a career, Emma. It's narcissism with a hashtag. I hate you. Finally, some honesty. Emma grabbed her suitcases and started toward her BMW. Then she stopped and turned back. This isn't over, Ethan. Derek and I are going to make you pay for this. Looking forward to it. But I wasn't just looking forward to it. I was planning for it. The next week was the grand opening gala for the new children's hospital I'd designed. 300 guests, including the mayor, the hospital board, and every major architect in Boston. The culmination of 3 years of work and the biggest night of my professional life. It was also the perfect target for 2 desperate, humiliated people looking for revenge. Jessica, feeling the heat from her association with Emma's scandal, reached out to me through a mutual friend. She wanted to meet. We sat in a coffee shop downtown while Jessica nervously stirred her latte. Emma's planning something, she said, for your gala. What kind of something? She and Derek are going to sneak in and trash the place. Spray paint, smoke bombs, the whole thing. They want to ruin your big night like you ruined hers. Why are you telling me this? Jessica looked uncomfortable. Because Emma threw me under the bus. She's telling everyone I knew about Derek from the beginning, that I helped her cover it up. My own reputation is getting destroyed because of her mess. So this is about self-preservation. Maybe, but also, what you did was cruel, Ethan. But what she did was worse. I leaned back in my chair. What do you want, Jessica? I want out of this whole mess, and I want Emma to face some real consequences for once. What kind of consequences? Jessica reached into her purse and pulled out a phone. Emma's burner phone, the one she used to coordinate with Derek. Everything's on here, Ethan. Hotel reservations, plans to steal money from your business accounts, even a scheme to claim you were abusive so she could get a bigger divorce settlement. I took the phone and scrolled through the messages. It was worse than I'd imagined. She was going to destroy you completely, Jessica said. Your reputation, your business, everything. And you were okay with that? I thought she was just hurt and angry. I didn't realize how far she was willing to go. I pocketed the phone. What's the plan for the gala? They're going to pose as catering staff. Emma has uniforms and fake IDs. They want to get to the top floor and cause maximum damage where all the VIPs will be. When? Tomorrow night, during your speech? I smiled. Perfect. The gala was everything I'd hoped for. The hospital's glass atrium sparkled under carefully designed lighting, and guests mingled among displays showcasing the building's innovative features. Mayor Davidson gave a speech about the importance of architecture in healing. The hospital board presented me with a crystal award. Everything was perfect. At 9 o'clock, I excused myself from the main party and took the elevator to the top floor where construction was still finishing. I'd asked Marcus, my business partner, to keep an eye out for any unusual catering staff. He texted me at 9:15. 2 servers just went upstairs, didn't recognize them. I activated the live stream on my phone and started recording. Emma and Derek were in the unfinished conference room, pulling spray paint cans and smoke bombs from a catering cart. Emma was wearing a blonde wig and thick glasses, but I'd recognize that posture anywhere. Surprise, I said, stepping into the room. They both spun around. Derek was holding a can of red spray paint. Emma had a smoke bomb in each hand. Ethan! Emma's voice was muffled by the fake glasses. We were just vandalizing my building, Yes, I can see that. Derek stepped forward. Look, man, this has gone far enough. Has it? Because I'm just getting started. I held up my phone, showing them the live stream. Say hello to the internet, everyone. We're live with Emma Hayes and Derek Slate, who are about to commit felony vandalism at a children's hospital. Emma's face went white. Turn that off. I don't think so. See, Emma, you taught me something important about social media. It's all about engagement, right? And nothing engages people like watching a train wreck in real time. The viewer count was climbing rapidly. 500 people, then 1,000, then 2,000. Derek made a grab for my phone, but I'd expected that. I stepped back toward the construction area, where scaffolding and equipment created a maze of obstacles. Come on, Derek, show everyone those fitness skills. He chased me through the unfinished space, leaping over sawhorses and dodging hanging cables. But I knew this building better than anyone. I'd designed every inch of it. I led him to the edge of the building, where a temporary safety barrier was all that stood between us and a 10-story drop. Derek cornered me against the barrier, breathing hard. Nowhere to run now, architect boy. You're right, I said, but I'm not the one who needs to run. I held up Emma's burner phone. Tell me, Derek, do you know about Emma's plan to frame me for domestic abuse? Or her scheme to steal money from my business accounts? Derek's face went blank. What? Oh, you didn't know? Emma's been planning to destroy me completely. Not just the divorce, but criminal charges, bankruptcy, the works. She was going to throw you under the bus, too, once she got what she wanted. I started reading from the phone. Text from Emma to Jessica. Once I get Ethan's money, I can dump Derek and find someone with actual class. Derek turned to look at Emma, who was standing frozen in the doorway. Is that true? He asked. Emma's mouth opened and closed silently. Another one, I continued. Derek is so stupid he'll do whatever I want. Perfect fall guy if things go wrong. Emma? Derek's voice was getting dangerous. I was just angry. I didn't mean... And my personal favorite, I said, Derek thinks he's getting a rich wife, but he's really just getting a prison sentence for vandalism and fraud. Derek stepped away from me and walked toward Emma. You were going to set me up? No, Ethan's lying. But I held up the phone, showing him the screen. Want to read it yourself? Derek looked at the messages, then at Emma, then at the live stream camera that was broadcasting everything to nearly 10,000 viewers. You crazy bitch, he said. You were going to destroy both of us. Derek, please. Tell them, I said. Tell everyone watching what you and Emma really plan to do. Derek looked directly into the camera. Emma Hayes is a psycho. She's been using me to get back at her husband, and she was planning to frame both of us for crimes we didn't commit. She's been stealing money and planning to claim domestic abuse. I'm done with this crazy woman. Emma screamed and threw one of the smoke bombs at Derek. It hit the wall and exploded in a cloud of purple smoke. That's when the police arrived. I'd called them 20 minutes earlier, right after Jessica texted me that Emma and Derek were in the building. Through the smoke, I could see officers flooding onto the floor. The live stream was chaos. Viewers couldn't see anything, but could hear Emma screaming, Derek shouting, and police yelling commands. When the smoke cleared, Emma and Derek were both in handcuffs. Ethan Hayes? One of the officers asked. That's me. We got your call about the break-in. These the suspects? That's them. I have video evidence of them planning to vandalize the building, plus evidence of fraud and conspiracy. I handed over Emma's burner phone. Emma was screaming as they led her away. He set us up. He planned this whole thing. Ma'am, you need to calm down, the officer said. I'm his wife. I have every right to be here. Actually, I said, pulling out a folded paper, as of this afternoon, you're my ex-wife. Divorce was finalized at 3 p.m. Emma's face went completely white. The live stream was still running. Nearly 15,000 people had watched the entire thing unfold. I looked directly into the camera. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Emma Hayes and Derek Slate, demonstrating why cheating on your spouse is a really bad idea. The children's hospital behind me will help heal sick kids. These two just needed to heal their own moral bankruptcy. I ended the live stream and walked back downstairs to rejoin my party. The gala continued for another 2 hours. By the time the last guest left, Sasha Emma Exposed was trending nationwide, and the video had been shared 50,000 times. I stood alone in the hospital's atrium, looking up through the glass ceiling at the storm clouds rolling in over Boston. Rain started pattering against the windows. My phone buzzed with a text from my lawyer. Saw the live stream. Emma's facing criminal charges for vandalism, fraud, and conspiracy. Derek, too. They won't be bothering you anymore. Another text from Marcus. Holy shit, dude. That was the most epic takedown I've ever seen. And finally, one from Jessica. Thank you for letting me help. Emma got what she deserved. I poured myself a glass of champagne from the leftover catering and raised it toward the storm outside. I guess I don't need your permission either, Emma. The lightning illuminated the city I'd helped build, one structure at a time. Tomorrow, the children's hospital would open its doors and start saving lives. Emma and Derek would wake up in jail cells, their reputations destroyed, their futures ruined. Justice, it turned out, was a lot like architecture. It required careful planning, precise execution, and attention to detail. And sometimes it required a very public demolition.